Right guys, in this lesson we're going to be covering all of the metrics that you need to know. Now, there's a few reasons why you need to know these metrics. Number one, you can kind of prove your value with like numbers and metrics, and by speaking the same language as the brand owners and media buyers, they're going to know that you know what you're talking about. So it's super important that you know all these metrics inside out and you're able to ask questions on those metrics. And you should, if you know these metrics, you're going to know which creatives are working and why. And then you'll obviously be able to make better decisions. So it kind of falls into three categories. You've got ad level metrics, store level metrics, and then your profitability metrics. Now, ad level metrics, this is what you're going to be looking at inside Meta. Now, it's very simple for all brands, all advertising platforms. It's going to be pretty much the same on Google, TikTok, all of them, but your main one's probably going to be Meta. Now, CPM, that is the cost to show your ad 1,000 times. Basically, the lower the CPM, the cheaper it is to reach more people. Some brands are going to have higher CPMs, some ads are going to have higher CPMs. It is one of those metrics that a really soft metric. It doesn't matter that much because you could have a high CPM with a great click-through rate and it's still very profitable. So don't get too hung up on CPM, but it's still important. Click-through rate. This is the percentage of people who see your ad and click on it. So clicks versus divided by impressions times 100. So basically, if 100 people see your ad and you get 2 clicks, that's a 2% click-through rate. Right. Now, a good CTR is 1 to 2 is like not bad. We really want to be hitting 3 to 6%. This is obviously really good. You're going to have some ads that are 10%. You're going to have some ads that are 1%. Like, it's just the name of the game, right? Now, this is your first, your big look. This is the one that you look at, your first test, your first soft metric. And this is going to be determined on, like, does your hook and your visual stop the scroll? Do people actually look at the ad and then do they click on it? Right? Now, cost per click. This is determined, so this is how much you're paying for 1 click. Now, this is determined, if we think about it, by a combination of click-through rate and CPM. If our CPM is high and we have a low click-through rate, our cost per click is going to be through the roof. If we have a low CPM and a low click-through rate and a high click-through rate, then our cost per click is going to be really low. Now, again, I can't really put like a number on this because you can have some ads where it's £2 cost per click or $3 cost per click and it's still profitable. Or you could have an ad that is a 50 cents cost per click and it's unprofitable. Now, this is what I mean about when I was speaking about you need to know what happens after the click and who's clicking on the ad. Is it people who just want to see the ad because it sounds interesting because you've clickbaited them? Or is it people who are genuinely interested in solving a problem? Hook rate, so this is for your VSLs and stuff. This is the percentage of people who watch at least 3 seconds of the video. Now, good benchmark is between 30 and 40% plus, ideally you want it higher. If this is low, you need to be changing your hooks up. Yeah, it's in there, fix the hook. Because this is going to be a big determining factor on whether or not your VSL is going to scale. Hold rate is the percentage of people who watch through certain percentages. Now, you can set this up in Meta to like this is basic hold rate, who watch till the very end. You've got 75% hold rate, 50% hold rate, and 25% hold rate. Higher hold rate means a more engaged audience, and typically it's going to be a better conversion. If someone sits through a 4-minute VSL and then clicks on the ad, they're going to be a lot more pre-sold than someone who watches 6 seconds and clicks on the ad. If people are dropping off at 5 seconds, it means that your hook worked, but maybe your lead didn't deliver, or your mechanism was weak. So you're going to need to fix each section of the ad. Cost per acquisition. Now, we're getting more into our profitability metrics and hard metrics. This is the main thing that you're looking out for. Cost per acquisition. It's how much you're spending on an ad platform to get 1 customer. So this is what brands care most about, and it's the creator's job to lower this number. If a brand's target CPA is $30 and you're delivering $25, you're a hero. If a brand's target CPA is $50 and you're getting $120, you're fucked. Now, we're going to move into store level metrics. So this is what happens after the click on the landing pages and product pages. Basic one, conversion rate. How many people convert on the landing page? So for e-commerce, 2 to 5% is typically really good for cold traffic. I'm just going to get rid of that because we're going to keep this basic. 2 to 5% is what we want to be hitting. Now, you can have landing pages which have 10% if it's all congruent, but the better your landing page and the offer framing and the trust elements, they're going to make a difference on this massively. It also matters because if you're driving poor traffic to it, if you have got a clickbaity ad that attracts everyone to click it and the conversion rate's low, it might not even be your landing page. it could still be the ad. That is why you need to think about this holistically. Average order value. So this is how much a typical customer spends. So let's say they've only got one product, right? They've got one product and it's a supplement, but they do bundles where you can buy one product, or you can buy two and you get it a little bit cheaper, and you can buy three and you get it a little bit cheaper. Now, 90% of people buy one, but the other 10%, the other 8% buy two, and then the other 2% buy three of the product. And let's say the product's $45. So that's actually probably going to put your average order value to like $55. It's split across all of the orders. Total revenue divided by number of orders is going to give you your AOV. Now, on Shopify and stuff, it's going to show you your AOV. You don't need to calculate this stuff. But you should always be looking to increase average order value, because if our average order value is higher, it means that we can actually spend more on ads to get a profitable customer. And it's the same goes for lifetime value. This is where it starts getting complicated, specifically for like supplement brands. Some supplement brands don't turn a profit until the second or third month. Some of them are 10 months. Some of them are 8 months. Some of them have really long life cycles. And what this means is, on the front end, they can actually, their average order value is $45. Sometimes they spend $85 to acquire that customer. And it means that they're actually losing money to actually acquire that customer, but they know on average that customer is going to stay for 3 months. So they actually make a profit on that. And this is why you need to know these inside out. Now, obviously, if you start working with a brand, they should know all these numbers, but you need to be dialed in with knowing this, right? Brands with high lifetime value can essentially spend more on acquisition. This means that they've got bigger budgets for creative, and yeah, it means that they can spend more. Now, ROAS. High ROAS isn't always necessarily a good thing, right? But this is how ROAS is explained. So it's revenue divided by ad spend. So if we get $5,000 revenue from $1,000 in ad spend, that's a 5 times ROAS, 5x ROAS, or 5 to 1. Now, what brands need, right? Typically, it's saying 2 to 3 ROAS breaking even. So most brands are going to be well below that. For example, the brand that I run, I'm profitable on a 1.2 ROAS. So if I spend $1 and I make $1.20 back, I'm profitable. But yeah, so this is how it's explained. Now, a high ROAS does not necessarily mean good. Let's say we've got a break-even ROAS of 1.5, right? And the ads over the past week, we're sitting at a 6 ROAS. That's really bad because we're not spending enough money. We should be spending enough so that we're profitable, but we're scaling, right? Because let's put it this way. What makes more sense? To spend 20k a month at a 5x ROAS, which would be 100k in revenue, which would be 80k in profit, or does it make more sense to spend 500k a month at a 2x ROAS? Now that 2x ROAS is still probably like 300, 400k in profit versus our 80k in profit, even though the ROAS is lower. So ROAS does not actually mean that much. You just need to know your profits, okay? And you need to be maximizing your profits. Like, it's better to have, obviously you don't want to be running unprofitably, but if you're still in profit, you still want to be pushing ad spend. That's how you scale. Now, how did these metrics all work together? Ad level, CPM plus CTR equals your cost per click, right? Store level, conversion rate plus AOV is your revenue per visitor. Profitability, your CPA, your cost per acquisition versus your average order value versus your lifetime value is going to determine whether or not this business is profitable. We take a $2 CPC, a 3% landing page conversion rate. That means that our cost per acquisition is $2 divided by 0.03, which is $67, and our AOV is $100. So it means that we've got $33 profit per customer. Now this is before product costs. So we basically need to be improving all of these numbers to get more profit. That's essentially all this is, right? Now, what do you need to track? You need to track click-through rate, you need to track cost per click, and you need to track ROAS on ad. Now for landing pages, you need to be tracking AOV and conversion rate. And then that's basically all of the metrics explained. So don't worry, I'm going to go through some examples of this, but that is how all of these metrics actually line up with each other. So that is it for metrics, and I will see you guys in the next lesson.